I look tired, isn't it? I'm a little bit tired. It's been a long 2 days. I'm building my compost bin. Today finishing it off hopefully. I've done a little bit, not much. I've done the back bit of the compost bin. So now I just want to, put the cardboard around the sides and start filling it. I need to find my hammer. That's a bit of view. I'm more new to this. This is the first time I'm not actually coming on camera. I'm trying not to come on camera too much. I'm a bit camera shy, guys. So please forgive me. Camera work is not the greatest. So this is where I start to build my bays. I wanted to dig a little bit of a trench, just a little bit lower than the actual level of the ground, so that my compost will have a bit of advantage, the worms will have a bit of advantage to actually get to the material to break down. So this is me and also it gives me a bit of soil to use for the rest of my allotment. So yeah, as you can see, that's just me digging a bit of a trench, so that I could use that soil also for the allotment. And then I just used the wooden pallets, very simply attached it with a wire, nothing too structurally like sound, so that I could take it apart easily later on. That was a tea break there. And that's my little helper again. She will be featuring in a few videos. Yeah, so that's us just putting together the bays. I'm not sure how many actual bays I'm going to have. I have just done the whole back row of my allotment, and I am measuring the actual composting bays at 1.2 meters. So the first bay there with the first divider is 1.2 meters by 1.2 meter. I believe, this is what I've been told, that this is the ideal size to get a bit of heat in your compost, which will hopefully kill off any weed seeds. That's why I wanted to do it 1.2 meters. Please correct me if I'm wrong, anyone out there. So this is the start of me putting the material into the bays. This is the material that my tree surgeons and gardeners, they give me all their trimmings. And they haven't given it to me for a few weeks now, actually, because I think it's just been cold and they haven't had much material to give me. But before Christmas, they were giving me 1 bag of those every week or so. So I've just been collecting those, bringing up to the allotment until my compost bays were ready, and then just use them to start my composting. So yeah, it's mainly green material. It's garden trimmings, garden material, all that sort of stuff. So that's a lot of green. I do have brown. My brown material is mainly cardboard and paper, and then I do also have a bit of food scraps from the diner and also my kitchen scraps from home. So that's what I've been using mainly for the compost. If anyone else got any other suggestions of material that I could use, please write it down in the comments section. But yeah, so that's the beginning of the composting materials going into the bays.
Vad är?
So to help with the heat installation and the breakdown of the material in the compost bins, I have lined the wooden decking panels with cardboard, and this will hopefully hold more of the heat inside for the breakdown of the material. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just lining it with the cardboard, and then I'm going to put the door on to seal it off, and that's my first bay, and that measures 1.2 meters by 1.2 meters. And then I start to fill it up with all the gardening material and kitchen scraps and cardboard and scraps that I've been collecting over these last few weeks. Yeah. I think the cardboard lining of the wooden panels will help keep the heat in, and also just with the overall structure of the compost, I think it'll just help keep everything tidy and inside the actual base. And that's me putting in some paper and the gardening materials. I do move the camera on over the compost bin so you guys can have a closer look at what I'm actually putting in and how I put it in. I did go and get inside the compost bin, which was quite fun, and just compacted everything, just pressed down everything so that everything was nice and compressed inside the bay. Thought I'll show you guys a nice view of our allotment. That's allotment 1. These are all the other allotments in that area. That's my allotment. That's all the junk that I have to clear away, which I'm starting to do slowly. Couldn't believe how much carpet was underneath the ground on that allotment site. So that's the whole back row of my composting bays. I'm gonna build another, 3 or 4 bays I think will fit in there. That's me. Okay, yeah, so back to the compost bin. So some of the materials are a bit dry, so I did put some water in there, and that's an overview of the compost bin. As you can see, I did get quite a lot of material to fill it in. That's owed leaves. As you can see, even it sitting in the bag, it started to break down. There was quite a lot of steam coming off the material as I was putting it in the bay. So I'm guessing that's sort of turning it, so hopefully that would help with the breakdown. So I'm just lining the last bits of the pallets with cardboard, as I said, to help with the insulation, and then finished filling it up. Another thing I did fill it up with, because I do drink a lot of coffee, was all the coffee cups in my van. I don't throw them out the window or just don't throw them away. I just keep them in my van, and then when I come down to the allotment, I use it as part of my brown material. As you will see in a second, that's why the long pause was. In a few seconds I walked all the way to my van to get all my coffee cups, empty coffee cups, and brought it on and put it on. As you saw, that was a bit of steam coming off the leaves as I put it into the bay. That just shows hopefully that amount of heat will be inside the bay and breaking down the material, getting my compost ready. I did quite enjoy making this. It's quite a nice process, putting everything in, layering it up. I just hope I've got the ratios right, because this is all new to me. And as I said, if I can do this, I think anyone can. So this is why I'm documenting all of this, and this is one of the reasons I've started a YouTube channel. Because I've never really grown anything before. It's all a learning curve for me. So hopefully we can all learn together as you follow me along my journey. So that's all the coffee cups and paper bags from my van. So yeah, I just continue filling up the bays with cardboard and more of the gardening material, the green material. My only concern was maybe I had too much green material, but looking at the overall material as well, some of it was breaking down and is quite old and is turning brown. So I'm hoping that that counts for a bit of my brown material. And I have got quite a bit of food scraps in there, and I did put a bit of cardboard. So hopefully my ratio is correct. My only other concern is maybe I should have cut up the green material a bit, maybe chopped it up with hedges or something like that to make it a bit smaller so it can break down easier. That's the only thing I thought about afterwards when I've done the compost. Maybe I should have cut it up a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. I do have another my bays right at the end. It's not even completed yet really, but what I've been doing is collecting old leaf and just piling it up in the other end of my composting bays. I'm gonna do just a dedicated bay just for that, I think, just for the leaf mold. And also when I first got the allotment in May, end of May, there was a compost bin there already. It was empty, and I just started filling it with my food waste from the diner and waste from the actual allotment, plants that I had pulled up and grass that I mowed the grass once when I first took over. So I used that. It's only a garlic drone, so maybe at some point I will have a look at that and see how that's composting. But yeah, hopefully I've got it all right, and we'll see the end results in a few months. If you do have any advice or tips on anything that I'm doing, please leave it in the comment section. It will be very handy. Yeah. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please subscribe. It all helps. I'm on a mission to grow organic fruit and veg, which will hopefully end up on someone's plate. Let's see. See, as you can see, there's quite a lot of brown material in my compost bin. Like some of the leaves are dying, so it's going brown, and there's quite a bit of like maybe a bit of soil in there as well. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, I'd grabbed from my local coffee shop, they gave me like 3 or 4 bags of coffee, used coffee, ground coffee. So as you can see, I'm throwing that in there. That's already started molding. I know that's a green material though, so I'm adding the egg boxes as an extra brown material. I'm making sure all the sides are well lined right to the top to help with the insulation. And yeah, I think that is the compost bin done. It's pretty full. I did get inside and make sure that everything is nicely compressed inside. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, I did do that. Let me know if you think it's a good thing or a bad thing. That's all my green material. As you can see, there's some steam coming off there, so there's definitely heat in there. Yeah, and that's the start of my first compost bin. Hopefully in a few months' time, or about a year, I will have nice compost, or I'll have something anyway. Follow and find out what happens. I do have a garlic compost bin which I started when I first got to the allotment in May, which I'll be using when I start my beds, and I am ordering some compost from a local compost producer, two ton bags, which will be being delivered at the end of January, beginning of February. So yeah, then I'll start building my beds from that, and then hopefully start planting out in end of April, May, when the last frost date is. I think that's the best thing I've been told, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's the end of my compost bin. Next time I will show you what the garlic is doing, and also what my leaf mold, because at the other end of my composting bays, I've collected some old leaf mold and put it there to break down and see what happens there, because I heard that was a good material to use as compost. So yeah, I'll show you that next time. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully this was useful to you. Hopefully I've done a good job of setting up my first compost bay. I'll keep you updated. Hope everyone has a good night, and I'll see you lot soon. Take care. Bye bye.